today we'll be working with data storage on the edge, and well, pretty much just the basic step that is required for almost all operations, that is a temporary hold on data anywhere. It can be a persistent hold too. And we'll be looking at that through Node-RED on the Prescient designer. And so for the beginning, essentially what we have over here is a flow, and we have an edge we have a we have a subflow running on an edge device. So on the designer, all you actually have to do is just tag which edge device you want over here, and it will automatically deploy the flow. So what you can actually see is over here is your edge device is pushing out a particular value, a payload, and maybe this is a value I want to use at the edge or so. So essentially, now this is the edge subflow that we go to. The values we saw coming out were from the data source, which are essentially a payload, a topic, and something related to that. And now let's look at the multiple tiers at which you can have um, accessible data, and this could be via storage or not. And one of the easiest ways is obviously to put it into a variable. So once you put it into a variable, and so at this point, essentially the payload will be put into a global variable, which is a memory based store. So whenever you access it outside, this will be available. This is the quickest way for data to be available on the edge. Then you have the next level, which is a file based store, where your variable is accessed through a file component. And essentially what is happening over here is every time you write to a variable, it does make a change on a file. So this kind of a store, it is really helpful if you want your data to be working through restarts on your edge device or something like that. The problem with this is it is significantly slower than using your memory. So if there is something like you need consistent access to, and it is a value that will keep changing, that is much better off in your memory. If you know that is a value maybe you need to read every few seconds, or even per second or so, it's that is probably better off in a file storage. Now these are the easy ones that almost all of us probably know about. The next level is essentially you have it stored in a local influx. So at this point, now you have your values being sent into your your influx DB that is running on your edge device. Now this can be any series, any database. So influx over here is a time series database. What we can essentially do over here is just have it running locally and store data locally over there. Influx, however, can also run on the cloud, and you can also have a sync between your local and your cloud depending on how you want it to function. That is a different topic. But essentially, this is better if you want a larger chunk of storage. For example, now you have these payload values coming out continuously. These payload values will now run and go into your local influx. They're more like a time series value, so that makes sense. But the advantage over here is essentially you can have a time based operation on this while you're calling it back. You can have a very high speed sum running on it. You can have a retention policy on it. So essentially anything that's related to time in a non relational manner, influx is probably one of the best ways to do it, even locally. The other way is when you have more structured outputs, you can put it into a query and you can have MySQL. You can have MySQL running locally. Um, and this is also for some form of relational access. Maybe your gateway is connected to a bunch of systems, and all of those systems have relational descriptive data or metadata in them. That's the kind of situation where we would be pumping our data into MySQL and pulling it out from there. Uh, it also, the fact that you can query it in and out and group it very easily over here helps. The next level to this is essentially you can have a file storage, just values going into a file. And so essentially, you create a file. It can be whatever. In this case, we are just looking at like an appending operation where you have where you have this sentence being added into the file. You can do the same thing with your S3 too. Uh, so it's not connected right now, where you can just go ahead and connect it. Essentially, every value being created is sent to an S3, and so this is a more it's more of a permanent storage, because you normally have extremely large S3 storages on the cloud. You can have any form of more permanent storage here. This is just used as cloud-based storage. You can also pull your S3 um, files back onto the edge as you require it. But if you are pulling your S3 files very frequently onto your edge device, then that is probably not the right way to be doing it. Um, Maybe you can have an edge based store or something like that. This is essentially more for very large storage, and this is the kind of storage you wouldn't be accessing very often. Um, you can also another thing this kind of a storage really helps on is just backup based storage or something like that. The other forms of storage are for more continuous usage. Depending, like variables, for example, can be accessed multiple times in a second. Your database queries can also be run multiple times in a second, but that's sort of pushing it. Also, it depends on how your database is configured. Influx is sort of built for that, since it's a time series database. MySQL, not so much. But when it comes to relational operations, this is where you would go. Any other form of data that you want, you can essentially have it written into a file and read it and read it out. Again, really helpful, because even if your edge device loses power or something like that, this will remain. You can pick up where you left off, and this is sort of a more permanent storage outside your edge device, um, but not to be accessed very often. Yeah. So we'll be following up with this more on reading it, how to use it, and it will essentially the series will show you how to create uh, data stores very easily and in a more usable fashion.